All right, let's turn this around. The butcher was kind enough to give me a bunch of these foam trays so I can put the meat on it as I cut it up. Again, this was $5.99 a pound. It's 15 pounds of it. It came out to $90. This would normally cost somewhere around 175 to 250 bucks for this slab. So this saves me 80 bucks right here, and it feeds me for the next couple weeks. So this is going to be part of a challenge that I'm doing. Let me lift this up a little bit more. And this is just a cheap $8 Faberware porcelain knife that never dulls. I mean, these things are super sharp and they last way longer than my steel knives do. My parents are still using the same ones they got 60 years ago, and they're still super sharp. You cannot touch them without actually hurting yourself if you get too close to the edge, you know? It's trimmed very nicely. I like the fact that they left a nice thin layer of fat, but it's not completely full of fat. So I think what I'm going to do is about 3/4 to 1 inch. Something about like that. I think that would be good. I'm going to leave it right there. The pup, she wants it, and she ain't going to get it right now. Let me go ahead and throw one of the, I'm going to go ahead and heat the skillet up while we're here. I'll go ahead and throw one of these bad boys on there and cook it while we're cutting this up. Where are you from, Lane? Are you from the UK? So I'm going to do about 3 per pack. Probably don't have enough of these trays here. Actually, I'll try to get 4. I figured you were when you said good morning. Good morning to you as well. I'm just going to keep them nice and about 3/4 to 1 inch thick. Here's 1 pack cut up. I'll go ahead and put that in a freezer bag. I don't have my vacuum sealer. It's in storage right now. I don't even know if this, yeah, it will. They may not even fit directly in there. Thank you. That's it's my service dog. She's an American Bulldog. Actually, you know what I may do, because I don't think these are going to fit in there. Because I may just put them directly in the bag. That's what I'll do. Put them directly in the bag. And that way I can separate them better. I don't have to have the trays. I'll put tonight and tomorrow's dinner on there. And I'll vacuum seal them, but I won't vacuum seal them like you normally are used to seeing. Her name's Paige. Isn't that right, Paige? You know right. Hey, can you sit? Sit down. She's old. Her hips are starting to hurt. Good girl. You want a piece of meat? You want some of this meat right here? Huh? You want this? Get back over there. Sit. You speak. Good girl. You want this? You want this? You want this? You want this? Huh? You want this? Hey! Sit! You want this? Good girl. Good girl. Come over here. I'll feed you then. I feed everybody. If anybody... I feed everybody. Freezer. So we got 2 out of it so far. And I'll take the steak that I cut her little chunk off of, and we're going to try it out. I'm going to toss it over here in the skillet. You know what I could do, so you guys don't have to see me bag everything? I could just go ahead and cut it up and put it all on the tray, and then I'll bag it afterwards. So you don't have to sit here and wait for me to fool around. I'm hoping you're right. I'm hoping it is. Angelo Caputo's is a pretty good place. Angelo Caputo's is... I am from Chicago, Illinois, but I've moved around all over the place. You know, I've been down in southern states and northern states, and lived over in Iraq for a little while in the army and served there for 15 months. So... This was at one of the stores up here called Angelo Caputo's. That's like an Italian company, but they also have a competitor named Tony's. And Tony's is actually so big now, just like Angelo Caputo's. They opened up their own warehouse because they are. Yes, sir. I flew into Kuwait. I stayed there for 1 month. Then I flew to Baghdad. I stayed there for a week, and then I flew south of Baghdad to an area called Adamiyah, and I served there for the rest of the remainder of my tour between Adamiyah and north of Baghdad in a place called Sadr City. It's one of the most dangerous places in Iraq, and I served there for the last 4 months of my tour, and then I came home. Look at that. That is amazing. Well, thank you for your service, sir. You're very welcome. Let me go ahead and flip this steak with my old traditional flip-flop. Yeah, the UK is really expensive when it comes to meat. Um, Even here, this is not grass fed. This is conventional beef, so I'm sure there's some grain involved. But what a lot of people don't understand, even with let me see if I can look at you while I'm doing this. What a lot of people don't understand, even with conventional beef doesn't have to be completely grain fed. A lot of people think that just because it's conventional beef, it was fed on grain its whole entire life, and that's not necessarily the truth. There's a lot of misconception in the farming world and stuff in general, and a lot of people think that that's the case, but that's not necessarily the case. There are some very dishonest companies out there that do that type of stuff, but we have organs in our bodies for a reason, and I like to get grass-fed organs, but I don't mind grass-fed beef. Or I don't mind conventional beef, and the reason I don't mind conventional beef is because what do doctors not talk to you about, and what do other carnivore YouTubers and stuff not talk to you about? There's a reason why we have these organs, and a lot of that is to filter the impurities and stuff out. So I won't get a conventional liver from a non-grass fed source anymore because I know that organ has to do the majority of the filtering and the cleaning. But because it has a purpose and I know it can do that, I don't mind eating the meat from that animal, just not the organ of that animal. If I eat organs, I need them from grass-fed sources because I know that's a more pure, more clean organ from that animal. There's a method to the madness, and I know that's just my opinion and my theory, but it's worked for me so far, and I'm going to continue to do that because, again, it's just we all are on a journey. We all can't afford steak and stuff that is, $17 to $25 a pound. And there's a lot of people out there that they like to preach and point the finger to all of us and say, well, you're not eating grass-fed meat. That's not right. Well, I mean, I'm living within my means, and as long as my means and my health is number one, how can you condemn me for that? I'm trying to do the best that I can with what I got. So that's where we go with it. Uh, I watch Bart K, but Bart K is one of my original friends on YouTube and on Facebook. Bart K came to my keto group when he only had like 300 subscribers. Um, and I saw a lot of value in Bart K. Now I won't talk bad about Ken Berry, but I've had a lot of dealings privately with Ken Berry, and I just don't speak about him because I don't care for him too much for very specific reasons that I don't want to get into. Every time I speak about why, a lot of people get offended by it because they like him, but I'm telling the truth, and I'm not bought by money, so we'll just leave it at that. I don't really care for Ken too much, but that's just my opinion. See, I've been doing this a lot longer than these doctors have been doing this, and I've been around in the low carb keto space, Atkins space a lot longer, almost as long as Dr. Berg, or if not a little bit longer than Dr. Berg. So I've got to see these guys come and go, come and go, come and go, and I've got to see all the processed foods and treats and everything else. But I didn't really need help with weight or anything until I came home from Iraq. So I was always a pretty buff, lean dude my whole life. Well, not so much lean, but and then you get old, hormones get out of balance, you get hurt, life changes you. And I've seen a lot of these guys come and go. I remember when my parents asked me when I was 17 years old if I would do the Atkins diet with them. Uh, and I didn't really want to because I was young and I could handle the carbs, but I said, what the heck, why not? It's a lot of meat. I like meat, so let's do it. And I'm 33 years old, and I started eating low carb 17 years ago. Um, so, the reason I don't respond to losing weight as fast as everybody else does is because my body is so used to eating low carb I've been doing this my whole life. I don't have the same reaction and the sensitivity that everybody else does where they just drop weight right away. It's really hard for me to. I've lost 147 pounds so far, and it's taken me almost 3 years to do it. And I'm blessed with what I have, but I've been doing this so long that Maria Emmerich, Dr. Barry, Dr. Berg, these other people, they are right. The longer you do something, the more your body becomes adapted to it, the less results you're going to have right away. It's going to take longer. I remember in the military when I would leave, we would come back. We would come back off patrol. I would go from the barracks room that we were in, and I'd go over to the chow hall, and I would load up on nothing but steaks and sausages and hot dogs and sliced lunch meat, and I would just get all kinds of meat. Thank you. I appreciate that, Brennan. I would load up on pounds and pounds and pounds of meat, and I would eat half that meat, and then I would put it on my hooch or my desk in my hooch. I'd cover it up, and then I'd go to the gym for like 2.5, 3 hours, and I would just pound the weights like crazy. And then I would come back, drink some protein shakes, take a bunch of pills and stuff like that for supplements because I was a big pill supplement junkie back then. And I got huge. I was the strongest guy in our battalion. I wasn't the fastest, but I was the strongest. And I saw the value in eating meat and being low carb, and it made me feel good. So I've been doing this so long now that I don't respond to it the same as everybody else does, but it's still the only way I can heal. Because every time I start adding carbs back into my diet, I don't gain weight because I've learned how to moderate that. What happens is I don't feel good, so I can't have all the carbs. I've tried, trust me, guys, I've tried a few times, and I don't respond very well to it. But at the same time, I don't gain weight. I just don't feel good. And vegetables really tear up my stomach bad, 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 bad. Look at that. I mean, that is beautiful. It is gorgeous. Man, that's good. Yes, it is. Did you guys get a chance to go see that new movie, Godzilla? I heard it wasn't that great. But I also heard that new movie about Elton John is out tonight, or it came out yesterday in certain theaters. What is it called? Rocket Man? Yes, sir. That's right. Freedom is not free. Everybody thinks it's a free country, but there are those of us out there fighting for this country that make it free. It's not really free in the grand scheme of things. You are absolutely correct. We didn't have people like me and you that were willing to give up our life for this country or this world, we wouldn't have the things that we have. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, Paige got a big old chunk because I had her, do her little trick or whatever where she speaks softly and stuff on camera earlier. She did good. She did really good. So I gave her a big old chunk of meat, probably like a little quarter-pound piece or maybe a little bit less. Let's look at what we got here. I'll show you guys here and get some of this blood up. Hey, Brennan, not Brennan, Lane, if you want, you can hit me up on Facebook as well. First name is Richard, last name is Paso. P as in Paul, O as in Oscar, I as in India, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, O as in Oscar. Or you just leave me your email in the comment section here and I'll email you. I also have a couple of my own Facebook keto carnivore groups as well. I run like 6 different ones, one medium, small one, and then like 5 auxiliary ones that I do little testing experiments and stuff on. Look at that. Bam. Woo wee. Let's cut into one of these boys. All right. Where's the paper plates, chica? No? Where's the paper plates? Ah. Right here. Let's go ahead and cut into one of these. Made it a little bit rare. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for commenting again. I appreciate it. Ay, ay, ay. You're a nut. Crone woman walking. You are a nut. Oh, man. Let's cut into this real quick. Brandon. Yeah, if y'all don't know, I tried to do a butter challenge. I tried to beat the world record for the most butter eaten in 5 minutes, and I couldn't get it. The guy devoured 8 sticks in like 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I could barely get 2 sticks of butter eaten in 3 minutes. I mean, there's no way. It's almost like you gag or choke on the stuff, or there's some kind of trick. I don't know what it is. A little bit red, a little bit bloody. Oh my God. Yeah, that butter didn't make me feel sick at all. I felt pretty good. I was actually full for like 2 days. Little salt, little garlic. Little salt, little garlic. I got the fresh granules in one container. Oh my God, that's so good. Guys, that is phenomenal. The taste of that steak is amazing. But I haven't had steak in a long time because, you know, I just moved and my financial situation kind of got rocky. I'm just starting to get a little bit better. I'm still nowhere near where I need to be, but I figured this will save me money buying all this in one shot. Golly. Here, you want this? Can you do something for me? Can you sit down? You need to cut your nails again. Go ahead. We're going to cut your nails tonight. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, alright. I'll stop playing with you and give you some. This steak is phenomenal. I mean, when you haven't had something for so long and then it's like, oh my God. Alright, I'll take the little piece. Yeah, I still do. I do some fasting sometimes. I mean, I've been fasting a lot more now that I'm trying to budget and save money. What I've been trying to do is think about getting a truck bed camper. One of those slide-in campers that got a shower and got like a toilet and everything in it. And AC and heater, queen-size bed, refrigerator. I thought about doing that. That'd save a ton of money doing that. I'm part of a couple groups where there are people that just live their lives in those things, and they get to travel the world. They spend like all their money on fuel, but they barely spend money. They don't have bills or anything like that. You know, they got their truck insurance and they got the fuel, and that's it. They go to Alaska and California every week. They're always somewhere different. Smoky Mountains. I seen a guy that was on Marketplace on Facebook, and he had a coach. No, what was it? A coachman or something like that. Truck bed camper, an 8-foot camper with a sleeping bag, generator, refrigerator, brand new, like some kind of infrared stove top, like really high end efficient stuff. And he popped up. It popped up last night, and I don't have the money for it, but I messaged the guy because I know a couple other people that are looking for him as well, and he said that it's basically all been completely refurbished. The whole entire thing's brand new. It's from 1990, but everything, every single thing, all the way down to the memory foam bed, has been replaced. And he said all I'm asking is $1,500 for it because I want to go get this. He said he was after some kind of hot rod or something like that, and he had to have a little bit of extra cash to go buy the hot rod. And I was like, man, I wish I had that right now. I'd be gone today in Indiana to go pick this thing up. I mean, it was immaculate. Let's get back down here. So I got a couple of them in here. What I do, I know this is not probably good for videoing purposes, is I'll go ahead and Ziploc it all the way to the end. I'll vacuum seal the bag. Watch, one of these days, one of these vegans are going to take my channel or my video, and they're going to make some kind of like comedy skit dogging me or bashing me because of the stuff I do like this. I know they are. I'm not going to pass out. Actually, for me, still being overweight, I'm very, very athletic, and I'm very healthy overall, which I'm very thankful for. So, even healthier than most people that are athletic. I think I've just learned to live in such a big, like more muscular, overweight body style for so long that my body's just adapted to it. Perfect. That's kind of like the redneck way of doing it. I used to put a straw down the side of the bag, like right in the channel here. I would put a straw down in it and set it at the bottom down here. And then as I pulled the straw out, as I was sucking, the bag would draw all the moisture that way and just seal the bag completely. Anyhow, you guys don't need to see me put this stuff away. Sometimes I think people just like being here. I don't know if they have anything else to do, or I don't know if they just like talking. Maybe they find me interesting or something like that. I have no idea. But I'm gonna spare you guys the rest of this video. I'm gonna go ahead and Ziploc the rest of these up. I bought a couple dozen eggs. I bought one of those big giant, like Great Value brand 60 eggs that people are like, oh my god. You know, those are conventional eggs. They're going to be grain fed and everything. I don't really care right now. I'm eating animal products. That's what I want. So I went out and bought a 60 count, like full entire giant massive box of like commercial eggs. And it was like $4.71. And then I bought an 18 pack of like the Dutch Farms $1.71. And over the next 14 days, I'm going to try to do nothing but just beef and ribeye. And maybe just throw like my little salt shaker grinder thing on there with some of that garlic in it. And just go from there. I'm going to see how long I can stick it out. And it's probably going to save me a ton of money. So stay tuned for that. I will announce the experiment tomorrow. And I'm going to see if the girlfriend wants to come on and say hi to everybody so you guys can get a feel for who I'm dating now. If you haven't known, now you know. I'm dating somebody. She knows I do all this stuff online. She's cool with it. She actually, I think she somewhat thinks it's fascinating. She's actually starting to ask questions about keto and carnivore and food and stuff in general. So she's super, super supportive when it comes to that. She's just a good woman. Very, 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 very good woman. Very fair. I do stuff, she does stuff. I pay, she pays. She help, I help. I mean, she's just, that's how it is. And that's a plus for me. So, anyhow, I'm going to get off of here. You guys got to see the meat. That's what this was about. Take care. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up. See you tomorrow, guys. Be blessed.